Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. Today I want to get into another Things I Wish I Knew series. It'll be number 4 in my series of videos sharing tips and tricks that I wish I knew when I started this game. These 3 that we're going to talk about in today's video actually come from comments on the previous series. Now, if you don't remember the series, it's probably because it was like 2 months ago. Maybe you're new to the channel. But I did 3 different videos and I called them Things I Wish I Knew. And then I just threw in as many items as I possibly could remember. Today I found 3 that you guys told me about that I thought were definitely worth mentioning. And so the first is around rental prices at the end of the season. Now, it goes without say that rental prices spike at the end of the season, and therefore you have to do a cost benefit analysis for yourself, looking at what the rental costs are and imagining what your possible returns would be for the theoretical end of season rewards. This is under the current regime, which is currently going to be changing. And we know that the new rank reward system is not going to be so focused on the end of season loot chest payout and more focused on the daily rewards that are available to you through your rank play. But the principle is still going to apply. The idea is this: when you're renting cards to play this game, I've said for months and months, stop renting cards, stop paying me to borrow my cards. That's what I say when I talk about rentals, because the thing is, when you borrow someone's cards for a cost, you're actually like, you could just buy those cards. I don't believe in renting a house. I don't believe in leasing a car. I don't believe in renting monster cards. Buy them yourself, own them yourself, enjoy the appreciation that comes with ownership, and also that then enjoy the benefit and the stability of the asset now that it's in your portfolio, as opposed to going to the rental market and trying to fill that need every day or week or season. I do think the new rank rewards are going to change how rental prices work and how the market prices things, because I do think the new rank reward system is going to be more focused on daily rewards, which is going to mean that you're going to want rental cards at every single day of the season as opposed to just at the end of the season. And for that reason alone, I suspect we're going to see a stabilizing of the prices that we find on the monster rental market. Meaning, on the first day of the season, the cards are going to be relatively expensive or relatively inexpensive, however you see it. But then on day 2, it's going to be almost the same. Day 3, the same. Day 4, the same, and so on. A stable price point across the entire season, with less variation in range than we currently see. Because currently, under the existing rank reward system, which is now going to expire, I think, at the end of the season, end of June or beginning of June, where we see almost no one renting cards, and then the last few days, huge rental spikes. So the point is this: when you're renting, understand that you're paying somebody for a temporary to borrow an asset, and understand that you can actually financially weigh the cost and reward. You can see what the rental card costs on whatever day, and you can do things like, you can do this wisely or really foolishly. And one of the wise ways you're going to do it is by choosing to rent whatever's cheap, as opposed to choosing to rent what you think is awesome or what you desire. That's one tip to make this less expensive. Another is you can set bids on your rental prices, and a third is to regularly check back, and as opposed to just renting whatever you want on one shopping spree. So few quick tips on that, but really it's going to come down to constantly analyzing and I would recommend having an Excel spreadsheet. What are your outlays? What are you putting into the game on for rental cards? And then a separate Excel sheet, or maybe the same on a different page, looking at what you're getting for rewards from the day or the season, and then measuring the value of those at the time of receipt, and literally taking your cost away from your rewards so that you can see whether you're making profit. And then understand also that the possible profit that you're going to make from the game is not necessarily the price of the card at the time of receipt. If you receive a Gin Renova and it's worth 20 cents or whatever it's worth, it's not actually worth 20 cents if you don't sell it. So if you hold on to it for 4 years, it's going to be worth more than that. And so then you can start to imagine you can start to speculate on what it would mean for you financially if you're breaking even to rent the cards to earn the assets. I think that's going to be a winning formula in the long run, because those assets are going to appreciate. But then simultaneously, you can think through, what are my other options? Because if you're breaking even on your rental card costs versus your rewards for playing the game, what if you just took that rental card cost and started buying cards with it, right? If you're spending 10,000 DEC a season to rent a deck of cards, what if you just invested that in your own cards and then began to build your own deck? Yes, it wouldn't happen as quickly, but that would be that snowballing effect where you're actually going to build a portfolio of assets. So first point, rental card costs. Renting cards can be dangerous. Renting cards is not necessarily profitable. You have to do it wisely. There are certain tips and tricks you can do to make sure you're doing it wisely. You want to take your time. You want to be thoughtful. You want to be analytical. You want to track the data, both the costs and the rewards, and think about it both short term and long term. And I think that approach is going to really unlock maximum profit for you when you feel renting is the best plan. But I strongly believe that ownership is better than rentals. And you should really only augment your deck with rentals, not rent, as opposed to renting every single card you might need. That was the first tip. The second one is around when you're buying CP. So when you go into the Peak Monsters Marketplace and you come over here to compare, you guys will have heard me say before that there's a compare by window, and you can compare by whatever feature you want, really. But the one that I often look at is best CP to cost ratio. This is going to tell me the cards that are the cheapest or the collection power they provide. And as you can see, collection power is ridiculously cheap right now, and it has been for a while. It's been increasingly cheap as we've seen the saturation of the marketplace around the 21 reward cards, but also as we've seen Chaos Legion become more and more available. Millions and millions of packs are being sold and opened. That's flooding the market with assets. People are trying to, I think, sell these assets so they can buy other older assets that they really want. But the strange thing is you're getting next to nothing. Like 465 CP to $1 is really dirt cheap. And so when you're selling, first thing is when you're selling your cards, be cognizant of the fact that if you don't need to sell it, don't sell it. Just hold it. Like I said in the first point, the assets are going to be worth one thing today and another thing in 4 years. So if you've got the patience, you're going to see massive rewards, massive gains because of the retroactive raise you're going to see on the price of the asset you've earned for your play. So, but that in tip number 2, I really want to talk about when you're looking at the compare by window, this is Gargoyle Devil. Gargoyle Devil is the cheapest card that's out there right now, 465.116 CP to dollar ratio. For comparison, in October or November of 2021, when we were at the peak of FOMO, peak of excitement around this game, we were seeing collection power at its best was around 25 to 30 CP per dollar. And so this is 15, I think, times 15x on that, maybe more. I think it's more than 15x. And so great prices, an amazing time to start building your deck. Possibly it gets cheaper, but my advice is never to wait for the bottom, because you're not going to catch the bottom. Everyone thinks I'll just wait until the prices reach the bottom and then I'll buy. You miss your boat that way. So start DCA, dollar cost averaging in, looking for cards that might be valuable. Maybe you like the Gargoyle Devil, maybe you like the Bonesmith, maybe you like Jin Renova. They're great prices right now, even if they get to be better prices later. I really feel strongly that dollar cost averaging is the best play over time. But on that note, when you come into this window and you look at the best CP to cost ratio, one of the important things you might not recognize is that this Gargoyle Devil, which is the cheapest card on the marketplace, it's not necessarily just one copy of Gargoyle Devil at this price. Look, it's saying that the cost is 4.3 cents or 38.7 DEC for the card. And you might think, oh, okay, well, I can add to my pack or to my cart, and I just did. But you can actually theoretically, you can add more than one if there's only literally one at that price point, but it's occasionally the case that there are going to be many. And if we actually let's actually go over to Grid, Gargoyle Devil. And look at this. So this one's 0.43 cents. Yes, that's the one I just added to my package, to my cart. But notice there's in order to make this shopping experience quicker, if you're agreeable, like if you like the Gargoyle Devil and you think the price is right, it's actually really easy to just go click on one and then let's grab all of them under 5 cents. Look, that's the whole first page. And so I'm not actually going to do this, but this is, every one of these is a great price. Every one of them, even 5 cents, even 4.9 cents is a great price. If you think 4.3 cents is a great price, I think you're going to agree. The other options are as well. And look, some of these have more BCX. This one is 8. So this is actually going to, look at this. If I did it this way, I'm going to add, what's the CP? 1,140 CP to my deck for $2.37 or 72 cents. So on average for this purchase, this proposed purchase, I would be paying I'd be paying $1 for 418 collection power. Now that is lower than what I showed you on the compare by window. But my point is that this is easier, quicker. You're going to buy more collection power in a faster way, isolating certain cards that perhaps you agree you already want. Maybe Gargoyle Devil's not the one you want, but then go back to the compare window and find what card you do want. You like Jin Renova? I think Jin Renova is a great buy. First of all, I think it's an amazing card. I think it's fast. I think it's got abilities that are excellent. It's got the magic damage. It's a relatively inexpensive card with that 7 mana for what it does. And I think we can expect I think we actually can anticipate a buff to this card in the near future, because again, this week in the town hall, Matt was talking about how Jin Renova is on his radar for reworking due to how her stats are currently positioned. You'll notice from level 3, she's got 3 attacks, 6 hit points, 3 speed. Again, at level 4, the same stats. At level 5, the same stats. The only distinction here is at level 4, she's got triage, but that means there's really literally zero reason to build her up to level 5 unless you're moving on to level 6. And so the point is, something has to be changed here. I expect a buff at level 5. I don't know of what kind, but some kind of buff. So it might actually be an interesting time to buy Jin Renova. So you might say to yourself, okay, I'm going to go in here. Remember, I'm going to add 1 Jin Renova. And then I'm actually, okay, that one was sold, but we're going to look for Renova. And then we're going to find it right there. No, I'm going to close that. Go back to grid. There's Renova. And look, we saw, and then we're just going to grab the cheapest ones. Let's grab they're all around roughly the same price, 25.3 cents. Let's grab the first page. Actually, I got to clear this because I'm including my Gargoyle Devils. Let's grab the first page and see what the average CP is here. Again, this is a card I really like. I think you're going to really benefit from. It's going to be a great long-term hold. We can anticipate a buff in the near future. It's an amazing low BCX per dollar ratio. And although it's not exactly the dollar to CP ratio we saw on the previous screen, we can see that it is an excellent CP to dollar ratio. It's got this page of Jin Renovas would be 5,000 CP divided by the cost of $12.649, which is 394 collection power per dollar. And so the tip number 2 is around using the compare window and to isolate the cards that are the cheapest on the marketplace, identifying the ones that you actually personally would desire, not just grabbing one of each of them. In previous videos, when I was talking about the compare window, I was saying you could go through and grab one. You can actually do it much easier and actually much more thoughtfully than that by, like I say, going in and isolating Jin Renova. And that's a card I firmly believe in. So then grabbing however many you might want. Again, with this sort of purchasing, you're not actually trying to fill necessarily a need in your deck. It's not that you might need 50 copies of Jin Renova. It's about the fact that you need collection power. And secondarily, you believe in the investment opportunity represented within that card. I hope that makes sense. I think that's an amazing way to actually isolate particular assets. And while you're not going to see 465 CP per dollar because you're buying more than the cheapest single unit on the market of that given card, you are going to see amazing CP per dollar ratios on particular cards that you feel are worth investing in. That's why this is a powerful tool. And lastly, this was an important point. I saw it from Yuki. Shout out to Yuki. Card prices go down drastically when new expansions come out. This was something that is definitely true. And you guys have seen firsthand as we saw the launch and let's say the issuance of Chaos Legion, right? As Chaos Legion has continued to print. When I say print, I mean packs are sold. And every time a pack is sold, a pack can be opened. When the pack gets opened, that's 5 new Chaos Legion cards in circulation. So even though they're not being printed per se, when you buy a pack, in a sense, it is creating new circulating supply. And therefore, it's affecting the overall marketplace, the cost of those cards, and so on. And so, interestingly, when a new pack like Chaos Legion launches, or in the future we're going to see Rift Watchers launch, and beyond that, new packs again and again over the years, one thing to note is that there's this interesting conflict and tension that you as an investor are going to stand within. The first point of tension is that if you buy packs on day one, and this goes for land, and this goes for SPS, and this goes for Chaos Legion packs, and it goes for every sort of asset that would come out of a game like this. When the thing launches, including validator nodes, which are just around the corner, validator node licenses, that pre-sale is coming soon. Think this through, guys. What's going to happen always when you buy an asset in this game, and probably more broadly, even in crypto generally, what's going to happen is you're going to buy it for a relatively low price. And usually it's going to be what long-term is going to be a ridiculously low price. But you're going to then watch that asset lose value and lose value and lose value because of a confluence of factors that we could briefly summarize, but it looks something like this. At the beginning of the sale, there are X number of people who desire that asset, whether it's land or validator no licenses or Chaos Legion packs. There are certain people who are really excited and they buy all that they want. Those are usually the big dollar investors, and they're also the people who love and really are sold out for the game or the project. Again, if you're thinking more broadly from cryptocurrency, any sort of cryptocurrency project, the people that are most sold out are the ones that are going to put that dollar value in first because they don't want to miss out. They really want to position themselves in a big way. Those are the people like me that are going to come in and buy 10,000 packs by myself, and then like another, I think I bought like another 5,000 packs or something with my friends who we put together $250,000. And so, and then I know people like, well, I won't name names, but I know other people in the game who have dropped $18,000, $20,000 on Chaos Legion just during the initial sale for the Chaos Legion packs. And so there's an audience of people that are going to go hard in the opening innings of a sale, and then they get satisfied. That begins a process of a slowing down of demand. That is one factor where you're going to then lead into a lull period, which we've kind of seen here with Chaos Legion packs, where they slow down fairly dramatically. And then I do think, and I continue to say, we will see a dramatic increase in the sale of the assets as we move closer and closer to the end of each cycle. Cycle meaning airdrop, but also cycle meaning the total issuance of Chaos Legion packs. And so the beginning, people buy it a lot, and then there's a lull, and during that lull, because of the lack of buying pressure, you see reduced prices, whether it's for Chaos Legion packs or land plots or whatever the asset might be. And so yes, it's very true that that card prices go down drastically when new expansions come out, because of, in part, the description I just gave you. There's other factors, so many other factors. In card prices, we could look at the fact that 21 reward cards launched around the same time that the Chaos Legion packs launched. And before that, there was no reward cards, which meant for a while we were getting nothing but DC out of our packs, which meant there was no card inflation. And then when they dropped the 21 reward cards, we were getting half of our loot chests were cards. And then there was all the bots and what they were doing at bronze. And remember, they were getting cards in bronze for the first couple months of, maybe the last couple months of 2021, and maybe even part of 2022. And so there's actually this confluence of factors that have reduced. Plus we had like a moon mission in October, November for Splinterlands. And then we're calming down. We've been consolidating for the last few months, but I think we got another moon mission in the future. And so thinking that through, there's probably 4 or 5 different factors that are working together to have triggered card prices to have slipped from their all-time highs in October or November. And it's so worth noting. And it's true that part of the reason is that a new pack was released. So yes, new inflation is going to reduce the prices. You need to live in the tension between how badly do I want these assets and those early airdrops, which you will only get access to for free if you buy the packs early. That's option number 1. Or option number 2, do I want to just totally disregard the pack sales and the airdrops and buy packs late during the lull period? Maybe I don't even want packs. I just buy cards off the market price because I'm expecting that the pack issuance will drop the overall card market price. There's a tension there because in option 2, where you just buy cards or cheap packs during the lull period, you're going to miss certain airdrops that I'm going to benefit from. But then if you buy packs early, it's going to look like you're paying a premium in a sense, because there is a lull moment where just the other day, Chaos Legion packs were selling for, I think, $1.97 or something like that on Hive Engine. And so it's everyone is going to have a different story and a different need and a different desire. And you need to decide which is going to be the best approach for you. But my view is that these are the two main directions and ways to think about it. Early gives you certain benefits and might have you a certain initial cost, but late is gonna be, while cheaper, but it's gonna sacrifice certain benefits, such as promo cards like Dr. Blight that you're never really gonna ever see because they came out and now they're way too expensive, and now you're frankly not gonna buy them. And even if you did buy them, it kind of, why didn't you just get in early? You know what, got it for sure as a guarantee. You know what I mean? It's like that's the tension you got to live between. But just thinking through, the next time a new release comes, card prices will go down when we see new circulating supply. I think that is seen with the reward cards. It's seen with Chaos Legion. It's going to be seen again with Rift Watchers. That doesn't mean you don't want to buy it early. It means that you need to think through the cost benefit analysis of buying early or waiting till later, where you're going to lose certain airdrops and access. Okay. So those are the 3 tips. And one more thing is, before I go, in some of the previous videos, I talked about some of the content creators that I really enjoy and that I personally benefit from. And Crypto Llama is definitely one of them. You guys know him. I know you know him. Also, I've been watching a lot of Tales from the Cryptmancer, and those are my 2 for this video that I've been thinking about a lot lately, that I've been poring over. So guys, thank you very much for your time and attention. I hope you enjoy this series. Please, if you have any things that you wish I would cover, or that the community would know, things you wish everyone knew, or that you wish you knew when you started playing Splinterlands, I really want to see a comment below, and I might just cover that in a future video so that the community can grow with that knowledge. Guys, have an amazing day. God bless.